Hi everyone. Today I want us to take something real woo and bring it into our embodiment. I like to call myself a grounded woo. So I really love some of the woo concepts. However, they have to be grounded in reality, and there's very often a huge gap when you watch so many videos about all of the woo things in the world. They don't really fill in all of the pieces. I want to talk about that today. I am a big believer that what we believe in influences our reality. If you believe in yourself, you're going to have the audacity to make big dreams, and then you're going to have the confidence to follow through with what it takes to complete those big dreams. And then you're just going to keep going because you believe. Why would you stop there? If you don't believe in yourself, you're going to find all the evidence that the world throws at you that you shouldn't be doing the thing, that you can't do the thing, that the thing might even be impossible. The wall that you run into, instead of just being like, I'm going to lean on this for some rest, you see the wall and you're like, I'm being told to stop. I should stop, because you don't believe in yourself. So I think belief is one of the most important things. However, it's not enough just to believe in yourself. You can't just believe that you're going to write a best-selling book. You have to actually sit down and write the book. Am I talking to myself? Maybe. In all seriousness, if you stop at belief, you're not taking it down to embodiment. You have to then make choices. And you have to make those choices over and over, and you have to show up, and you have to take steps, and you have to take action, and you have to sit in some pretty uncomfy feelings, because things don't always work on your time. Trust me, my friends have a phrase called hope time, because I want everything to happen super quickly, and that's just not reality. So I gotta be on the universe's time, not hope time. So many times you're being taught, like, you want to embody the feeling of somebody who already has it, which, yeah, I get that. I love that. It's not enough to just feel like a writer, and then you just sit on your couch all day and you don't do any writing. You have to actually write. So it's beyond just feeling that sense of, I am already there. You have to show up as the person. What are their habits? What do they have to say no to because they need their time and energy to be spent over here? What do they have to study? What do they have to learn? What kind of conversations do they have to have in the world? How do they need to take care of themselves, their bodies, their minds? This is the kind of stuff that I always think is missing. It's always just like, hold the vision, see it, believe it, feel it. It's like, yeah, actually that's beautiful, and it's a great place to start. But also, do it! You have to do. There's so much more doing that needs to be done in the world. Okay, so being a therapist is one of the things that keeps me the most honest and congruent and aligned. Honestly, it has been one of the most impactful things in order for me to kind of stay on my game, because I want to be the person who's telling people to do these things. Like, I want to have had them embodied. I want to actually be the person I say I am, be the person I'm showing up as. I want to live in that energy so much that my clients will sit with me and they'll think, I want whatever she's on, which is believing in myself and then doing the thing I say I'm going to do, which builds your confidence, and doing it again tomorrow, and then the next day. And perhaps the most important one, work in progress, honesty, is I have to be the center of my orbit. No, I don't mean that when I'm working with my clients. They're the center of every session. This is what I mean. For most of my life, I have put other people, usually a man, so embarrassing, as my center. I mean, I gave up my entire life for a man. We all see this. and we still do this. I'm a Leo sun. I'm a Leo rising. Leo is the sun. The planets orbit around the sun. I need to be orbiting around me. Oh, half of being a Leo and just being a writer and a creative in general is having to go live. So it's that discernment of, is this for the plot or is this losing the plot? Ooh, I like that actually. So if I am putting myself at the center of my reality, that means when I have downtime, instead of being like, I wonder what so-and-so's doing, or I wonder what's going on Instagram, or what event should I be looking at, or blah, 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 I need to be silent, check in with me, maybe check over my list of projects I'm working on, see what's calling me, create space for some words, create space for some art, tap into other creative projects I'm working on, because this is where my possibility frequency lives. And what I mean by that is every single thing, every wild idea has been given to me because I can complete it. And I believe in that possibility so much that it creates a frequency. And now it also requires me to stay focused and in that frequency, because if I'm getting a little distracted or pulled into somebody else's orbit, then all of the ideas and the visions that I have been gifted aren't going to have any time. I always want to give a caveat, because every time I say this, people are thinking like this means be a loner and be isolated and be sheltered and don't make time to help other people. Absolutely not. I am always going to be a community girly. I'm always here for people. I give a lot for my clients. I'm very available for them. I'm very available for my friends. It's just the discernment of, if you are giving so much of yourself to someone and then you wonder, does this feel aligned? It doesn't mean you have to cut this person off, but perhaps that means you need to reevaluate how much you're giving to that person. It's okay. It's not a bad thing on their part or your part. We all have to take evaluations of energy exchanges on a regular basis, because, like I said, if you're putting somebody at the center, they didn't even ask to be there. Sometimes you just got to be like, oh, what are you doing here? You belong over here. That's simple. The amount of times I teach my clients, hey, no one's asking you to have to cut anyone off, but why are you orbiting around them instead of them being in your orbit? And they have their own orbit, right? You don't want them to orbit around you. Everyone has their own orbit, and we all just kind of vibe with each other. And boy, when I tell you, some people's orbits, when they come in and they try to pull you in or they try to throw you off, you're going to feel that. Trust your intuition, but you only know that if you are in your own orbit. This is what I mean when I'm saying being centered and bringing things into embodiment. It's that knowing that you're waking up that day and the decisions you're going to make or for the better of you and anyone you interact with. And if you're doing something with somebody and it's out of alignment, you're not actually benefiting that person. Now, if I were to show up with my client sessions and I didn't actually do any work on myself and I was scattered, dysregulated, was a hot mess, sure, I might be able to show up as a good therapist, because there are a lot of therapists who are really good at their jobs and not so good at managing their own lives. And that's no hate. It's just fact. I don't want to be that person. I want to show up in alignment. I don't want to end my work week feeling like I just gave all I have to give to my clients and I have nothing left for me or anyone else. So that's why I do my work. I do so much meditation and energy clearing and moving my body, and I'm active and I eat clean and I think clean and I work on my thoughts and I work on my beliefs and I work on showing up and doing the things I say I'm going to do, because I want to believe in myself and feel good and embodied and confident. It's all worth it, because then I can give to people because I'm giving to myself. See how that works? Centered. This all clicked for me while being a caregiver, because I gave up my whole life for that man. He was the center of everything. And in many ways, he had to continue to be the center because I had to basically save his life over and over again. But I had to also matter and become a center. And then this is when the woo had to become grounded, because I kept being like, why can't we think our way out of this? Why can't we believe our way out of this? And forgot how much embodiment and actual practice and showing up and action and doing and being. You can't think your way out of these things sometimes. Where thought comes in is, if I'm thinking that the whole world is against me, I'm going to find evidence that the whole world is against me. But if I'm thinking the world's for me, I'm going to find evidence. What you are looking for is looking for you, always. What you're paying attention to, you will find. So that way of thinking is helpful. But as a caregiver, when I was trying to get out of being completely out of balance and resentful and angry and stressed and burnt out, I couldn't think my way out of that. I had to do things, which actually meant taking care of myself, showing up for myself, feeding myself, literally, all of the things. And so it was beyond belief. I had to do the things that somebody would do that takes care of themselves. To tie this up, I am a true believer that energy is contagious. And I know you know this, because I know you can think of a time in which you spent time with somebody who was like, the world is so terrible. And you end up being like, oh my God, everything actually is terrible by the end of the time spending with them. And then you've spent time with somebody who's like, you know what? Is there a whole lot of madness happening? Absolutely. But am I able-bodied? Did you see this flower? Did I just take a breath? Can I eat? I taste food. Oh my gosh, do you smell flower? You end up appreciating life a whole lot more around people like that. So energy is contagious. So in that, I just want to let you know that I believe in you. I do. Because if I can get to a place where I actually fully mean it when I say I believe in myself, and then I actually do the things that I say I'm going to do, and I show up, and I say no, and then I adjust, and I call myself out every time I feel just a little bit off kilter, and then adjust again with no shame. You can too. Possibility frequency is available for everyone. So, tune in. That's all you gotta do with frequency. Tune in to possibility. Then once you believe it, start doing the things that somebody who would have this life that you're trying to bring would do. Build those habits. Check in with me. Let me know how this works out.